Welcome back to Project Bodybuilding, and today guys we've got some breaking news, but some great news. The NPC and IFBB have decided to increase the weight caps in Classic Physique. And yes, there's actually more to this. They will soon implement height cards to Classic athletes to avoid height fluctuation at weigh-ins. There's some things we have to unpack with this video, so let's just jump right into it. Alright, so I want to unpack three main points I have concerning this entire topic. Point number one, we gotta talk about why they increased the weight caps in the first place, and the reason is this. They wanted to balance the taller guys with the shorter guys. Let me play you a clip from Tyler Mannion's video and you listen to him explain what him and the other head honchos said about the taller guys versus the shorter guys in Classic.
We took a look and realized that one height grouping had a little bit of an advantage over other height groups. This height grouping is over 6'1" and up to and including 6'2". The weight jump from the previous weight goes up by 10 pounds. All the middle height classes and every other height class basically goes up by either 7 or 8 pounds. The lowest height divisions only go up by 5 pounds. So what we decided to do was we're giving the 2 pounds to the over 6'1" up to including 6'2", so they also get a little bit of a weight increase. The lowest height classes will be getting 7 additional pounds. This will include the 2 pound jump that the over 6'1" and up to including 6'2" got, and the 5 pounds to make up the difference from the 5 pound weight jumps they got compared to the 10 pound weight jump.
So basically, taller guys had more weight to play around with. Tyler casually dropped the 6'1" to 6'2" height class as an example, which is conveniently Chris Bumstead's height class. And with Chris and what Tyler said in mind, we can look back and we've realized that we've seen this play out in real time. Prime example, Breon Ainsley. Breon eventually got surpassed by C-Bum and couldn't catch up. It was physically impossible because Chris got taller and got a whole 10 pounds to play with in just 1 year, while Breon had to make a drastic weight cut every single year. And really, over the years, those weight cuts kind of made Breon worse. And this is kind of the same story with all the shorter competitors, Rough Diesel and even Ramon. These guys are leaving elements of their physique on the table, mainly size, because they have to cut down so much. Both of those guys, Rough and Ramon, are literally maxed out and they can barely make weight even after depleting food and water. And they can't take on C-Bum as they are. The judges have spoken. They need to be better in order to beat the guys ahead of them, but they literally can't improve or they can't compete in Classic. So this was the NPC IFBB's way to try to balance the advantage taller guys had when it came to having more weight to utilize before they max out. Point number two is the most important one. What are the actual changes to the weight caps? You heard Tyler Mannion. He said depending on how tall you are, you can look to add 2 to 7 pounds. And the guys that are getting the biggest weight increase of that 7 pounds are all 5'7" or below. And then at least everyone 5'10" and below will get at least 5 pounds. So this is what we wanted to see. No one above 6 foot is gaining more than 4 pounds, and if you're really tall, you may gain as low as 1 pound to your weight cap. Everyone would always say that taller guys have the advantage, not just because they're taller and draw more eyes, but they literally have more pounds to play with proportional to their height. Now, a second issue that Tyler Mannion touched on in this video that I didn't mention in the beginning is the issues of competitors fluctuating in height. And good news, they have a solution for that problem as well. This has been talked about for a while now because everyone fluctuates in height, especially people that cut weight and cut water in order to make their weight. So in response to that, the NPC IFBB will give guys permanent heights instead of measuring them at every show. Here's what Tyler Mannion had to say about that.
Everyone has been asking about having height cards for our pro classic physique competitors. This is something that we are working on and will come into effect once we switch over to our new IFBB Pro membership system that we're implementing. We're going to have a system where an athlete will get heighted 3 times once they turn pro. The average of these 3 heights will be taken, and that will become their permanent height. This will be going into effect hopefully sometime later this year.
So there, you've heard it from the horse's mouth. Eventually, all Classic competitors will height in a total of 3 times, and the average of that 3 times will be the competitor's new height. And that is what they will use when they go into a show and get weighed in. They will not height in at the show once this is implemented. Now, I do hope they also put a rule in place that says you can appeal this permanent height if you have gotten taller. So that way you can get remeasured with the permission of the NPC IFBB, of course. Some guys like Chris Bumstead use inversion tables, and some just fluctuate in height and whatnot. So hopefully they can add a process where athletes can ask for a formal change to their heights once a year or something. I don't think they should go overboard with this. I think both of these changes, the increased weight caps and the permanent heights, are great changes to Classic, and I think mostly it'll cut down on a lot of the bullshit. Whether it's a guy suddenly shrinking or growing when they don't make weight at a show and other forms of cheating, this can definitely mitigate a lot of that. Or whether it's just straight up giving some more advantage to shorter guys in order for them to take on the big boys. But let's go more in depth on the fallout of these decisions and who they affect in point number 3. So point 3 is the fallout. Of course, this section will be speculation. We don't know how this is going to actually impact Classic and 212 and Men's Physique, because maybe they will draw more people from those divisions to Classic, or maybe the opposite. We just don't know entirely yet. I do believe it will help the shorter guys ultimately. I think these rules will achieve that goal. Just look at the reception this is getting. Rough Diesel is now fired up to grow and actually be competitive. Breon, who retired from Classic to go to 212, said he may even come back to Classic.
Yes. I have heard the news. Pretty ironic how I'm in here practicing posing, looking at everything, looking at the checks and balances, and I hear the news that they are upping the shorter heights in Classic by 7 pounds. So that does make a difference for me, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely. It would be an entirely different look for me on stage, and I will discuss it with the team to see where we stand, to see what decisions we will make because of it.
And just imagine if Breon did come back, but bigger and better. Also imagine a bigger and better Terrence Ruffin. And of course, what about Ramon Dino, who now has almost 5 pounds to play with? These guys would be massively competitive on an even higher level now, and they basically are instantly just with this announcement. They're now on everyone's radars again because people know they've been maxed out and unable to get any better in order to move up. But now that's changed. And what about the reigning Mr. Olympia? Honestly, these rules were probably thought of with him in mind. And I'm not saying that this is automatically going to be the end of C-Bum's Olympia reign. Far from it. He's been so far ahead by this point that some of these guys would need no weight cap in order to stand even a chance. But this certainly does make things a lot more interesting now. I would say that this is overall not just a good thing for Classic in general, but something that will effectively even out this imbalance between taller and shorter competitors. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know how you feel about all of this. Please follow me over on Instagram at Project Bodybuilding 1, and that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more bodybuilding content.